He's come to every one of my shows this year. He's also sent me stacks of letters, gone through my trash. He even followed my mother to her weekly bingo night.
By your command.
Stalking is a crime, and although she laughs at the idea, and she says that she would actually follow Adrian, there's not enough evidence to support the situation, so I can't exactly charge her for anything. I take it back now, this is horrifying! Marinette has a whole chart full of information of Adrian that he never told her. So this actually would be considered stalking. There are no rules on the books about magical creatures, such as kwamis in the French law, but she is Marinette's friend, which helps break into Adrian's locker with her magical powers, but it's only after Marinette has the information that Adrian wouldn't be around his locker, but instead of fencing, from the charts that she has of information Adrian never told her. So, she gets the crime of stalking, plus breaking into Adrian's locker from Tiki, and her main objective was to rob Adrian's phone. But it's only gonna get worse, trust me on this. What kind of crazy psycho do you have to be to rummage through someone's trash? And I actually looked it up, and rummaging through someone's trash actually counts as stalking. Lady, what the junk is wrong with you? It is not cute, it is not romantic, it's just creepy. Leave someone's trash alone. And you know it's really saying something about your main character if it forces me to side with the school bully, Chloe Bourgeois, the horrible character of the show. Why do you need so many pictures of the same person? As much as I really want to give Marinette the benefit of a doubt that this is a famous person and she's just a fan of Adrian as a famous model, he is still a student that goes to her school, and considering the fact that she has a whole chart about his life, and now she has photos of him on her wall, which makes it even more concerning. There's a few instances in the series and a few episodes where actually they find this kind of thing bad when it's done by other characters, but we have at least 3 characters who seem to think it's fine when Marinette does it. That's kind of creepy. I sense partiality and a stalking charge. Although, pretending to be a pizza person isn't exactly illegal in France, she does use this disguise to sneak her way into the hotel. And by the looks of it, Marinette is not coming in as a guest, so this would be considered trespassing. And before you guys say that Marinette had a reason to trespass, she didn't actually. Kwamis have the ability to face through matter at will, so she didn't have no reason to trespass. If it was a guy forcing his kiss on a girl, we would call it out. So I'm gonna call it out now. There's a certain wicked practice that some detectives do, and some cops, where they plant cocaine at the scene of the crime to get an innocent person in trouble, instead of one of their friends who really did commit the crime. Marinette is putting Chloe Bourgeois' bracelet back in her own bag to make it look like she was imagining the whole thing, and to cover up the tracks of Plague, who really did steal the bracelets. But Marinette does not know about this, but she's preventing this investigation from going any further, and to actually find who the real culprit is. So she'll get charged for fabricating evidence. Or in France, they like to call it falsification. Also, it's not really helping Marinette's case, knowing that she had a smug little grin on her face when she realized she basically can put Chloe Bourgeois' bracelet back in her own bag to basically gaslight her and tamper with evidence. Was this really necessary? You couldn't have gone after Dark Cupid instead? And plus, you don't know if a kiss is gonna work. So, this is weird. This is the most grossest thing I've ever seen in my life. Okay, this is where it starts to get a little corrupt. Marinette knows she put the bracelet back in Chloe's bag, even though it was never found inside, and she tricks the mayor into thinking so. Roger saw Ladybug put it in the bag and says nothing about it, and even lies as well. And she encourages the lie to go on, so they both commit the crime of perjury. And they fabricated the evidence, and because of that lie, Roger gets his job back. So this is all not good. Man, I thought superheroes were supposed to be good. Hacking into someone's phone is considered a crime. So let me see if I got this right. Marinette was so embarrassed by what she said in the voicemail to Adrian that she broke into his locker, stole his phone, hacked into it to get the voicemail out, instead of talking to him about what was said. Sure, it's embarrassing, but you were bound to tell him at some point. What I'm trying to say here is that much of the crime she commits in this one episode, Copycat, could have been avoided if she just communicated with Adrian. Just stinking talk to him. Communication can solve a whole bunch of problems. But instead, she chose to do all this. Instead, this ludicrous, convoluted plan. And if it were me, I would choose embarrassment over breaking the stinking law. But this is exactly what Marinette did. So this is how Marinette chooses to suffer. So, Marinette, you done messed up. Now Marinette has done it. She has finally hacked into Adrian's phone and deleted the voicemail, which is phone hacking plus deletion of data, which gets you a longer sentence to your charge. Also, she's encouraging young viewers to steal, so that's also bad. And she puts the phone back in Adrian's bag to make it look like nothing happened. Man, she's got a thing for gaslighting. This has gotta be the worst episode of Miraculous. Well, aside from Volpina, of course. I would usually forgive superheroes trying to keep people safe, but locking them in a zoo enclosure instead of bringing them to their houses is a whole type of wrong. Because they don't even want to be here. You could have brought them back to their place where they could be safe. So I'm going to charge her for kidnapping because they didn't want to be dragged here, and false imprisonment because this is a cage instead of their own house. According to Alia, they spent all afternoon in the zoo enclosure, and they would have stayed there if no one busted them out of the cage. And Marinette apparently forgot about them this entire time, and didn't even go back to try to help them. So I'll have to charge Marinette for involuntary manslaughter. Accidental murder, but murder nonetheless, cause if no one busted them out of the cage, they all would be dead, and Marinette would not even remember. Okay. Marinette deleted a video of Ladybug off of Alia's phone by accident. Instead of telling her friend about this, she steals her friend's phone and goes to reenact that video instead of telling her straight up. Communication, people. We could have skipped a whole bunch of crimes, but no, she's too dumb. No, wait, I can't call her dumb. She knows exactly what she's doing. Although Marinette did goad the mime into destroying the Eiffel Tower, she didn't destroy the Eiffel Tower, he did, so I won't charge her for that. But I will charge her for putting thousands of people's lives in jeopardy, thinking that the mime will be so dumb that he will stand still and hold the Eiffel Tower up, instead of jumping out of the way and letting the whole thing fall. She does not know any of this, and if this plan fails, she would have killed thousands of people, giving her mass murder to charge. But it all works out, so I'll just charge her for reckless endangerment. Still. Oh no. Why? This is the second most disgusting thing I ever seen in my entire life. Gross. And still stalking. With the help of Alia, Marinette decides to break into Adrian's place to sign her gift, instead of talking to Adrian in the flesh that I made you a gift. Also, on that note, why don't you tell him when he does get your gift that it's from you? So the end of the Bubbler episode wouldn't be so stinking redonkulous. Ugh. Stink you. So Marinette ends us off by saying, stop taking photos of Adrian, Alia, unless you plan to give them to me, of course, encouraging future stalking to happen. She also takes Alia's phone again. Man, she's got a thing for stealing phones. So she's charged with, well, you guessed it, stalking. And I know I have so many seasons of Miraculous to go through, and to think how many crimes Marinette commits in just season 1. Season 1. She commits this many. Ah, brother. Just think how many she's gonna commit in season 2. Oh boy. And that about wraps it up. Yeah, I'm calling the cops.
And as for that abomination, it is the flawed product of a deranged mind. It has no place among us. Captain Gantu, take him away.
With pleasure.
Arms, legs, big deal. How can you possibly be in love with Ladybug? You don't even know who she really is.
That's the thing, Plague. I wasn't thinking. I was following my heart. That's the thing, Plague. I wasn't thinking. I was following my heart. You don't know anything about love.
Oh, that poor boy's frustrated because he can't finish the poem for his masked sweetheart.
I don't need a poem when I can tell her to her face. I love you.
Ugh, gross.
By your command.
She is beneath that mask. I love that girl.
You are not in love! You are infatuated! Adrian has the makings of a sympathetic character, because he lost his mother, and his dad is a supervillain, but Marinette's the main character, which is weird. Because Marinette says, I'm just a normal girl with a normal life. But she lives in Paris, which is super expensive, and she runs a bakery shop with her family, which is super expensive as well. And she has both her parents, her mom and her dad, in her life. How rare is that? She has the freedom to design fashion design choices and inventions on the fly. She's a prodigy at this. I don't know, Marinette. Maybe you should count your blessings. You kind of take this stuff for granted, and that's kind of weird of a main character to do. Adrian may live in a rich place as well, but it doesn't take away from the fact that he lost more than marionettes, making him a better main character. But regardless of this, trauma is a two-way street. Trauma can make a person good, and trauma can make someone bad. Just because someone had a tragic backstory does not excuse the fact that they commit crimes in their life. No. And before I go charge this character for his crimes, I'm going to show you what the writers intended on Cat Noir to be in the bonus features. What the junk? Why? I don't know if France basically has a different meaning for that word, but here in America, seduce means to tempt into wrongdoing. Really bad wrongdoing. It would make a lot more sense if Adrian was simply just attracted to Ladybug, but him trying to seduce her? Ew. Bring back chivalry or something. Seduce is not a good word for a good character to have in a kid show. This is all in the bonus features. I'm not making this up. Yes, and I do know that basically Cat Noir was originally supposed to be Felix, and Marinette was supposed to be Bridget. But that's what they boiled down to. And if that's really what Cat Noir was supposed to be, I don't know why you would even have an idea like that. And the producers and directors are very pleased on that idea to say in the bonus features of a kids show. Now, with that out of the way, court is in session.
By your command.
He does this in the theme song for some reason. What were you going to do, Adrian? Keep your hands where I can see them, okay? Don't get handsy. Why are you being so creepy? He should be smelling ocean summer breeze, but he's sniffing her like that, so that would count as harassment. If this was an accident, I would forgive, but Cat Noir does this on purpose, and he knows Ladybug doesn't want his arm to be there. Is consent a thing for you, Cat Noir, or were you born yesterday? Cat Noir, knowing the fact that Ladybug is definitely not interested in him, this would count as sexual harassment for his unwanted advances. He's not as charming as you think he is. Cat Noir, keep your hands to yourself, please. She does not like it. With all things considered, Cat Noir is supposed to keep an eye on Marinette, not kiss her hand. And the funniest thing is that he's supposed to be more charming than Nathaniel in the same episode. If Ladybug is not interested in you, what makes you think a kiss is gonna work? You sicko? And this is ripping off Spider-Man scene from In the Alleyway. Man, I knew it, this show. Adrian's gonna be horrified when he realizes it's Marinette that he's crushing over and trying to seduce. Gross. Note to any guy. If a girl pushes your face away, she does not like you, so please stop trying. It's not romantic, just creeping her out. Cat Noir is expecting a kiss for some reason. I don't know why, but she doesn't really notice and he does not force it on her, so I can't charge him for this. If she's not interested in you, stop planting a kiss on her hand. Get a hint. Okay, Cat Noir is innocent. Okay, he's been framed by copycats, an akumatized victim, but instead of jumping over or even leaving the cops, he chooses to beat them up with a metal stick, which has to be battery. And they're a police officer, so that wouldn't be good either. Casual spying. What the? What? How do you have technology like that? I'm just glad Chloe Bourgeois was not naked in there, or he didn't look in the wrong room and see a married couple doing some private time. Adrian trespasses the train and then commits a false alarm by saying there's a cat loose. Adrian could change anywhere, not here. I hated Adrian for what he did here. He believed anything that came out of Lila's mouth, and he got in Ladybug's case for no reason. Even when she was right, Lila was a liar. Adrian, what's wrong with you? Yup, he's dead. Congratulations, Cat Noir. You're a murderer. And there's no way they could have saved Gorilla with a miraculous Ladybug, because he fell down a long time ago, before they even got to a miraculous Ladybug. So he's dead, and his guts are all over the floor. Oh man, caramel, so tasty. No man, I like to. Wait. Anyway, Adrian, basically, which is Cat Noir, has the ability of Cataclysm and could literally destroy this wall. This is not concrete. This is caramel, which falls under failure to assist, which is 5 years in prison. Man, I want some caramel. So tasty. I want to eat the screen. This is where things go from bad to ugly, because Adrian did not steal Chloe's bracelets. Plague did. But Plague is a Kwame, and Kwames can face through matter at will, such as doors and lockers. So how come Plague's not able to get this bracelet off his head? And it's still stuck. And Plague says if you try to transform, the ring will merge with you and damage your powers, which is a whole type of bull poop. But beside that, Adrian does not snitch on Plague to tell everybody else that he's the one who took the bracelets. Ending this dumb arguments in the entire season 1. So that actually would make him an accomplice to the stealing, because he's keeping a hush-hush on who actually stole the bracelets. Plague and Adrian should be going to prison for this, because they just stole a bracelet. Oh, Adrian, you poop fire. You stole Chloe's bracelet and you planted it over there, which would be stealing and fabrication of evidence. That whole lie is going to cause a whole lie chain reaction, because Ladybug's going to lie in Cat Noir's place, and Roger Copp's going to get his job back because of that lie. This is probably the reason why you need to make known your secret identity to your friends. Instead of admitting to his classmates that he's Cat Noir, he decides this whole convoluted plan of pretending he's been kidnapped. I can't state this nearly enough, but secret identities are dumb in a universe where you can have people in your corner. Shut your mouth now. You have Cataclysm, Cat Noir. You have the power of destruction on your side, and yet you say the goo is indestructible? Your Cataclysm can dissolve anything! Anything! Stop being a drama queen and get to work! Lives are at stake here! Hear that, Cat Noir? That's the sound of a whole bus of people's necks breaking, and that lady over there flipped over the side. I can't be good. All the people in the bus are dead. But due to cartoon logic, none of them have a scratch after, which I see as a lie. I was about to charge him for pretending to be a police officer, because that's illegal in France. But this is a disguise. I'm kind of wondering where he get this hat from in the first place. Did he kill a guy? Or did he rob a hat? Either way, that's dark. And as I pointed out, he's not above killing people, so I'm wondering if he even stole a hat from a person, or just straight up just killed a police officer. This is a speculation, not an actual crime.
She'll fall for me someday. It's just a matter of time.
Harassment and assault in a kid's show sure is funny, isn't it? And of course Adrian and Marinette end up together in Season 5. Dang you, Adrianettes. Dang you, Marinettes. Dang you. Marinette may be a very bad girl, but Adrian, you're a very bad boy.
That's the thing, Plague. I wasn't thinking. I was following my heart.
Yeah, I'm calling the cops.
His recent attack on the peaceful populace of the planet of Liston is a mere addition to the nauseating list of mischief and hooliganism that has earned him the prestigious title of Public Nuisance #1. Experiment 626. You've given no indication that you are anything but dangerous.
Lock him up.
She's amazing.
By your command.
Can you believe Lila knows Prince Ali? She knew Serena's private jet with them.
Why did Jaggedstone write a song about Lila when he could have written it about me?
Lila knows all of the Hollywood directors. She promised she'd mention me to Steven De Silva.
Lila? Yeah, she just go to their school.
We soon discover later in the episode that Lila's a huge liar. She did not go with Prince Ali or into his private jets. She did not have a song written about her by Jagged Stone. She does not know any film producers from Hollywood, even Steven Spielberg, which is a dollar store knockoff of Steven Spielberg. And no one else asks her about her proof that she met any of these people, so it's a fault on their part. Yes, lying is a sin, but it's not a crime. It's a crime against God, but according to the French rules, unless you're lying to a public official or a police officer, lying is not a crime, so I have to let her go. Ugh, I hate doing this. Lila's touching Adrian's chest like that, and apparently he does not like it.
Where are they going? Alia, we've got to stop them. You need to chill out, Meredith. My Ladybug has the highest number of hits ever after that Lila interview.
This is completely out of character for Alia. She's usually very supportive of Marinette's liking Adrian. So why would she deal with Marinette in complete apathy? Is she brainwashed? Did Lila use hypnosis on everyone? I want to charge Lila for hypnosis, but that's not a crime either, so... great. I kid you not, everybody becomes a ninny in this one episode.
It won't work. It's so much more fun doing it together, don't you think? What's that?
Nothing. Just...
Oh my goodness! What the junk, lady? You just up and snatch a guy's book? What if that was his diary? Or something he specifically wanted to keep to himself? You just up and snatch it? Like, goodness, you freak! Anyway, she does snatch it momentarily, but she doesn't exactly steal it, so I can't exactly charge her for this either. Ugh.
It was about superheroes.
I love superheroes.
She's freaking me out, so I'm gonna charge her for sometimes she so much as touches Adrian, because if Adrian was thinking clearly, he would never let her touch him like this.
She's amazing.
Girls just need to wear a costume to be amazing, you know.
I don't know. I mean...
This would be considered harassment, and looking at Adrian's face, you can see that he's very uncomfortable, and her just being next to him is causing him to be very nervous, so I'm gonna charge her for harassment. Yeah, that seems about right. Adrian talks about his one-sided crush on Ladybug, but then he says, no, I don't like Ladybug. She's just a friend. Where have I heard that lie before? Can't remember. Anyway, and unbeknownst to both of them, Marinette is listening in. And usually I would be on Marinette's case, her to be a stalker, for obvious reasons. But I have to root for Marinette because Marinette actually has a reason to listen in. And this scene is debatable, whether she's doing it for her own selfish reasons or if she's trying to save Adrian's life. Marinette did not save Lila's life once, and Lila's using this lie to get points on Adrian. And I really want to charge her for this, but still is not a crime. Ugh. Next. How do you not see that? It's on the ground! Adrian, get it! Dummy. Okay, we weren't so sure before, but now she actually stole the book. So, I would have to charge her for stealing. Although it doesn't belong to Adrian or Gabriel Agreste, but instead to the rightful owner of the Miraculous. She takes it and modifies it for her own use, so that's bad.
Ladybug and me are like this.
Feelings mutual, Marinette. I would feel very upset if someone actually said that we were friends, but I'm actually not. We soon discover that she actually went to the jewelry store with the Miraculous book in order to make a fake Miraculous in order to trick Adrian into thinking she's actually a real Miraculous holder. So this would be considered counterfeiting, and counterfeiting is a crime. What the junk is wrong with you? You stole his book, counterfeited miraculous, and you threw the book in the garbage. If it were me, I would give her a long overdue butt whooping for literally throwing my property in the trash. And actually looked it up. Actually throwing someone else's property in the trash is called property destruction. And it's an offense that can get you 2 years in prison. At last, there's something I could charge Lila on, aside from lying. She pulled him down really hard, and that seems very unnecessary. This scene is debatable whether or not Marinette is actually stalking Adrian, because Lila is lying about Marinette / Ladybug saving her life, even though she never did. But Marinette does fish the book out of the trash can, so that gives her a point. Lila lies to Adrian, saying that she's actually a superhero called Vulpina, and this is her real miraculous. Even though Adrian should really know that this is definitely a fake, because he knows that Ladybug would never tell him her secret identity, and they're supposed to keep her secret identity as a secret. So knowing that Lila is literally explaining her name and her being a miraculous holder should be a red flag, knowing that she was never a superhero in the first place. But Adrian's too dumb and not acting like himself, so I'm kind of thinking that Lila must have brainwashed him. In fact, everybody acts the same way. But the crime Lila commits here is that she literally says that she's supposedly Ladybug's friend and BFF, but then she says that Ladybug is not the great superhero, and she doesn't even make the top 10, saying that Vulpina's better than Ladybug. This very thing that Lila does would actually be called defamation. And supposedly, what the junk, Lila? You said that you were best friends of Ladybug, so why would you be so quick to slander her? I already made a video about Marinette charged for her crimes. Don't you try to do my job? And I'm gonna have to thank the episode for the verbal butt whooping that will happen later. I know I already charged Marinette for her crimes, but I don't know how I missed this. Marinette is putting her teeth in slobber all over this book, which has to be destruction of property. So, you know what? I'm gonna charge her for that. Although this is Lila's video, I'm gonna charge her anyway. And I don't care how clean you think that book is. That book was just in the garbage. Putting your mouth or any part of your body onto something like that is obviously gonna make you sick. And if that does not make you sick, obviously the saliva from your mouth is gonna waterlog the pages till it become rippable. Disgusting. Marinette worked so hard to get the book out of the garbage, put her mouth on it, and then she drops on the ground and ditches it to become Ladybug. What the junk is wrong with you? Wait a minute, what am I doing? I'm supposed to be charging Lila for her crimes. So can I get back to beating up Lila now? Okay. Here we go.
You're telling me this is a miraculous?
You are dumb! So incredibly dumb!
Sure. I remember our instant connection when I saved your life, and we've been really good friends ever since. Practically BFFs. Actually, when did I save your life, Lila? I don't recall. Oh yeah, of course. Now I remember. Never. And we're not friends either. Mrs. Showoff here is trying to impress you and everyone around her.
So, I'm guessing you're not a descendant of a superhero either?
She's more like a super liar. My chances with Adrian, gone. I hate you, Ladybug.
Everything is your fault, Lila. You may cry your crocodile tears all you want. It's not gonna change anything. You try to trick Adrian into thinking you're a superhero by forging a miraculous and trying to pretend that Ladybug was your BFF. And she actually saved your life, even though none of that ever happened. And you're not friends with Ladybug. And then you try to slander her, saying that she does not make the top 10 and Vulpina is more powerful than Ladybug. So, all of this is entirely your fault. You could have went to Adrian and said, do you want to be friends? But no, you choose this path, you narcissistic poophead. How is this a romantic picture? And aside from that, she vandalized this wall.
I am Volpina, the only superhero Paris needs.
An act like this would be considered terrorism. Even though it's an illusion, she scares a whole bunch of people into thinking there's an actual threat. In America, you get a death sentence if you promote terrorism. But here in France, they got rid of the death penalty in 1981, so she has to get life imprisonment. And yes, I am charging her, even in her akumatized state, and you can't stop me.
You wouldn't do that.
Me? Hi, Black, she's coming.
She did break into his house. I can't believe she actually threatens to hit Adrian in this one scene. She's literally using the illusion of Adrian to trick Ladybug. Yep, that's coercion and intimidation. Lila's on fire tonight. Yes! 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 Woo! Yeah! I don't know what more to say. Lila the liar has lied her last lie. Yeah, I'm calling the cops. We got more seasons after this. What? Ah, come on!
Wait, no!
Oh, no, not him again. Remember me, Mr. Stone? Vincent Assa! Just one photo to show everyone in the world that we're best buds! Come on, please! I'm your biggest fan! I know, you've been to my last 36 shows, but we are not friends. There! Look into the light!
By your command.
About this crazed fan.
He's come to every one of my shows this year. He's also sent me stacks of letters, gone through my trash. He even followed my mother to her weekly bingo night.
Just getting us out of the way. Being a fan is not a crime. You're supposed to be a fan of what you like. And without fans, the famous people wouldn't have any support for what they make. That's how companies are funded, by fans who give. Fans offer constructive criticism, defend, and even encourage the artists to keep going, where they otherwise would have stopped trying and gave up. Although this guy, Vincent, is basically a fan, to call what he does being a fan a crime is too far out of the way. So a line must be drawn here. There's a difference between being a fan and a stalker. Now with that out of the way, let's focus on his actual crimes. Jagged Stone says that in the past, Vincent has given him stacks of letters, has gone through his trash, and has followed his mother to her weekly bingo nights. For those of you guys who don't know, giving someone unwanted stacks of letters is considered stalking behavior. Rummaging through someone's trash, as I've already went over in my Marionette Charge for Crimes video, is considered stalking as well. And lastly, following someone's mother to her place of entertainment is stalking also. I'm kind of wondering why no charges were pressed against this guy. I guess I will press charges on this guy. Okay. 1 for unwanted stacks of letters, 2 for rummaging through his trash, and 3, following one's mother to her place of entertainment. 3 cases of stalking. So there. Now this is where you came in. The present day of the episode, where Vincent is trying to hide behind a counter to get a picture of Jagged, proving that he's stalking once again. And he would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for a meddling thing, a crocodile, which outs him in front of Jagged. So I'll say to Fang, "Good doggy," and I'll say to Vincent, "You're charged with stalking," and possibly a restraining order. But I don't actually think a restraining order will be enough on this guy. Aside from the fact I'm going to be seeing his face in my nightmare soon, he detains Jagged and tries to force a picture on him. And I looked it up, and actually forcing a picture on someone counts as harassment. If this is against somebody who actually is doing evil and you catch him in the act, that's different. Vincent is only doing this for selfish reasons, and curse you episode for making me think that he does not deserve a butt whooping by the end of this.
No photos! Now don't let me see you near Mr. Stone again, or next time you won't get your camera back.
At this point, why don't you just arrest Vincent Asa and just end this episode early? Cause you already have proof that he stalked Jagged, and he harassed him into a photo against his will. Sure, it might be hard to get what he did in the past, his stalking charges, his 3 stalking charges of sending you unwanted stacks of letters, going through your trash, and following your mother to her bingo nights. But this here, you actually have proof of what he actually did do at the present moment, so have that evidence and go to the cops and get him arrested. But who am I kidding? Everybody in Paris is dumb. So as of right now, I can't exactly do anything else to this guy. I know it's nothing new ever since the Lila video, but I'm going to be charging people for their crimes, even in their akumatized states, because they have a lot more agency than you know. Let me tell you what I mean. After I watched the episode Evil Strader, I realized that akumatized victims can determine what's right from wrong. Because as it turns out, all Nathaniel wanted to do was spend his birthday with marionettes, and punish a school bully, Chloe. Nathaniel's an angel. A lot of akumatized victims can actually think for themselves. Akumatized victims have a lot of agency. Hawkmoth does not completely brainwash them, which actually would be preferred. He simply just gives them powers, and threatens to remove them if they choose to disobey him. And ever since Evil Strader episode, I determined that basically some akumatized victims actually can come back to being good. Because Nathaniel almost did. So as of right now, moving forward, I'm done with the whole notion of all akumatized victims are victims. If you're an evil person and you get akumatized, I'm gonna charge you. If it's honestly not your fault how you got akumatized, then I won't charge you. Then you actually would be called an akumatized victim. Now, back to Vincent. Vincent Asa has kidnapped 2 people with his camera head, and I've counted 42 people in total that he kidnaps in this entire episode. And he not only kidnaps them, he stores them in pictures inside of his own house. How evil do you have to be that Hawkmoth uses your house as a place to keep victims of your choosing? Like, I would think it would just be inside of your camera, but no, it stores them inside your house. The very thing he does right now is basically mass kidnapping. And I looked it up, and mass kidnapping would be a form of terrorism in France. But let's talk about life imprisonment for a moment. What even is life imprisonment? Well, it's different in every country and different continents, but specifically in France, life imprisonment is for as long as you live, but for the most part, it can just be for 30 years. And then, once 30 years have passed, then you might be eligible for parole, which is not always the case. Sometimes if you're a really bad egg, they might just withhold parole from you forever, and you just die in prison. That's including the murders, or if you're involved in other situations. But they get rid of the death penalty and just have you die of natural causes, instead of just guillotining you, or with that neck-slicing thing. They just did away with that in 1981, and the last ever time they ever did an execution was 1977, so you're kind of gonna die of your own natural causes in prison when you're doing life imprisonments. So that's what life imprisonment is in France. So that's kind of what he'll basically be dealing with if he does mass kidnapping. Maybe he might get parole, but maybe not. We're not entirely sure. But most likely than not, he'll not get parole if he's involved in really shady dealings, or if he commits something against a majority of people. So that's explaining life imprisonment for you. Hope you learn a lot. If you do not, then I guarantee you look up the French penal code, because that's where I got all our information from. I encourage you to try and look at it. So Vincent not only trespasses inside, he goes up to Jagged's private suite to get him. And if someone laughs like that, you know he's a psycho. I was about to charge Vincent for stealing Fang, but Jagged Stone should know that crocodiles are not illegal in France because they are a dangerous animal. And he should know this, being a famous rock star who's been in France for quite a long time. So stealing an illegal pet is not right, but also isn't illegal. However, he does send Fang into the same picture realm as Adrien and Chloe Bourgeois, which is dangerous. Vincent does not show any remorse or any worry that he sent Fang, a dangerous crocodile, into the same photo realm as Adrien and Chloe Bourgeois. And taken that he just zapped it, he knew what he was doing. So I'm going to charge him for murder. Attempted murder, but murder nonetheless, because if Pixelator won, Adrien and Chloe Bourgeois could have got mutilated by the sharp and dangerous teeth of a crocodile. No thanks to you, Jagged Stone. But don't worry, I'll get to you eventually.
I'll be your one and only fan. You will belong to me for eternity. You will belong to me for eternity.
What the junk? How in my shiny, tiny little hiney did this episode get approved? What is he doing? It looks like he's trying to propose or something. Ew. And whoever says you'll belong to me for eternity. Rewatching Season 1 episodes as an adult has made me see little details that I probably would have missed as a kid, and seeing some things as more concerning than usual. And this is perfect proof for the point I made earlier, because even though Vincent has been akumatized, his stalking behavior still peers through. But Jagged Stone is not without his options. He can still defend himself. He can either kick him in the face, he could run for the door over there, pick up that lamp and smash it against his head, or lock the door behind him and wait for the police to arrive, so he can charge him for harassment and the threat of kidnapping. This scene was so cringy. If I must suffer, so should you. In an attempt to kidnap Ladybug, he shoots her arm off and sends it to his photograph realm. And then later, he'll get her leg as well. This kind of thing will count as dismemberment, and this would count as a form of murder, which is punishable by life imprisonment rather than death. And wherever he keeps her arm and leg, we just don't know. I know Vincent caught a lot of people in his photograph realm, but he did not get everybody. But I do know that he's scaring the remaining people that are in Paris with the threat of being kidnapped and being imprisoned in his photograph realm. So this would also count as terrorism. Because imagine if you were trying to run away for your life, away from a guy who would imprison you forever in his photograph realm. That's kind of what's happening right now. But surely he kidnaps Cat Noir all over again after he just released him. But still keeps the body parts of Ladybug. But I'm like, where? Where in your entire house is Ladybug's body parts? You zapped off her arm and leg. Where are they? You're a mean one, Mr. Vince. This scene proved my point again, because Pixelator can stop attacking Ladybug if he is promised Jagged Stone instead of Ladybug. Because that's what he really wants. He wants Jagged Stone. And this kind of proves that Akumatized victims still have agency, despite the fact that they're supposed to lose their memory when they take on the ability of being akumatized. But he has not forgotten who Jagged Stone is. So he knows what he's doing. So I'm going to charge him with attempted kidnapping. And have I talked about the outfit of Pixelator? It stinks. It really does. I hate it. Hi, Cat Noir! Thanks to this slimy clump of showering ball hair, Cat Noir cannot defeat Pixelator anymore by destroying his camera head and ending his nightmare already. And now we have a problem, because Pixelator is now wise to Cat Noir and Ladybug. So all I have to do is say, thank you, citizen. And now I'm going to charge you with obstruction of justice. How you like them apples? That's gotta hurt. Attempted kidnapping. Sacre bleu! I've been hit! Blast that citizen. Give it a rest already. Let's look at that again, shall we?
Have had it with these monkey fighting snakes!
How in the name of Aquaman Sandy Cheeks did this happen? Up until this point, it's been confirmed that the camera and the akumatized suits are one, not two separate objects. The camera was a akumatized object, but it's built into the suit, and it can't be done without it. So, using the camera to defeat the camera is not going to work. And Cat Noir could have used Cataclysm to actually destroy this guy, and then brought him back with Miraculous Ladybug. But sure, we need Cat Noir to break the photograph realm with his Cataclysm, which doesn't exactly work, because somehow Vincent got teleported to the photograph realm, and is stuck in this one white photograph. I thought they were all broken, so how's this one here? Anyway, forget all that, because this episode does not care to slice about logic. It's honestly the third worst episode of Miraculous. But who cares? It's a happy ending. But that won't stop me from saying, yeah, I'm calling the cops.